Well, I thought it was a really good game by our guys. I think we put, 36 minutes of really good UCF basketball together, and that's what you want to see. I thought we responded well from our last outing. Defensively, I challenged them. About taking care of the basketball in both areas that we worked on this week. I saw improvement in, and that's what you want to see at this time of year. It's getting better in the areas you know that you have to make improvements. And I thought our guys did a really good job against a good basketball team, a team that I think when they get in their league and they start playing, it's going to have a good year. I mean, I thought we did a great job defensively on some of their main players like Max. He can really score the ball, and scouting him, I was really worried about his ability. I thought our guys did a really good job of staying focused on him all game, made him a priority, and defended him well.
Coach, the offense got off to a very slow start, but the defense allowed you to stay in the game. What needs to change, or what are you telling your guys to get the ball rolling?
Well, we have to get off to a faster start, that's for sure. But these are all areas that we have to continue to improve on. And I think that the way you get off to a fast start is through your defense. I mean, I think if teams are scoring the ball early and often, that puts just too much pressure on your offense where you don't get any chance to get easy baskets or anything. We're a team that feed off of the ability to turn you over. They had 15 turnovers. I think consistently every game we've played, we've had at least 15 turnovers versus our opponent, but we need to turn that into offense. And so I think if we do that, we'll get off to a better start. And, we've taken us a timeout, a TV timeout or two before we kind of get our feet under us to start really, making those plays. But that's where we can make improvements, and that's what we're going to continue to work on.
Coach, you had mentioned that you scouted with, and it felt like there was a lot of movement by Cal State Fullerton earlier on, a lot of movement on the perimeter, but I also felt like there was always a Knights jersey waiting for them in the rotation.
Definitely, they do a really good job. Their coaches, he's won a lot of games. They've been in multiple NCAA tournaments in recent years, 20, back-to-back win seasons. So they're a proud program, and so I knew going in that they were going to have really good ball movement and spacing on the floor. They have really good shooters, and we were going to have to do a heck of a job of really focusing every defensive possession. And I thought for the most part we did that. I thought we were in the right places. We fouled, we fouled young man a few times too many. Carper, we fouled him a few too many times, and he got a couple good threes off. But by and large, I thought we really were locked in defensively on those guys, trying to keep them out of our paint and trying to take away the three.
And you mentioned keeping guys out of the paint. Got to bring up Diallo here with the 5 blocks.
Well, when he gets in there, it's good to have a guy that can make some plays at the basket, and he does a good job of that. Him and Omar, I think, have been really solid for us at that position. I thought tonight, Ibrahima was terrific as far as, like you said, just patrolling the lane, taking care of, shots at the rim, rebounding the basketball. I thought he had a really good game for us, and I think his best basketball still ahead of him.
How much of a benefit is it to have Ibrahima, have Tierno, have Omar, eventually maybe CJ coming back, to have that kind of rim protection to kind of be the base of the defense behind those perimeter players?
Well, we're going to need that. We're going to need depth on our front line, and those guys give us that. With Ibrahima, with Omar, with Silla, both all playing the 5 for us. At times, and Silla plays 4 and 5 with his versatility. It allows us to play with good length around the basket, can change shots, can block shots, and rebound the basketball, which is going to, be very important as we move forward. So, yeah, we like where those guys are progressing to, and we think, like I said, that I can still see a lot of areas where they can still get better for us and help us.
Coach, how good did it feel to have Avery back for the first one tonight, and also, having some impact plays for the guys?
It was really nice to see, Marcellus get back on the court. I think it was the right decision, and, just approved it yesterday afternoon, and so approved our appeal. So really happy for the young man, and I think he responded really well. I think he was very excited to get out there and contribute. And the best thing I liked about him was that he didn't force anything. I put myself in his shoes as a young player, just got the opportunity and got the green light to be able to play. I've probably been flying around all over the court, forcing plays and trying to do things. But he really played within himself. He didn't force anything. I think his first few possessions, he actually helped out our bigs. He dropped the ball off to them in good positions where they were able to make plays. And then he kind of started getting his rhythm. So really, really excited about, how he can help us as we move forward.
And you mentioned his poise and all of that, but how fun was it for his first basket to be that dunk?
You know what? I'm sure he's very happy that was his first basket, getting out and running. But he has a chance to do that. I see him every day in practice. Young man has a chance to be a really, really good basketball player if he continues to work like he's working right now. I'm excited to see where he'll be in 2 weeks from now, a month, 2 months from now, as he continues to work.
We saw Jalen in the first 2 games kind of as a scorer, hitting 20 points. You saw 15 tonight, but his game was a lot more well-rounded with the 5 assists and the 5 rebounds. What did you see from him as now he's getting more comfortable playing with these guys?
Well, he's starting to understand his teammates and how you can play off of those guys. And the thing about this group so far is they really connected well. Like, it's not Jalen scores or Darius scores, it's we scored. And you kind of see them the way they play out there on the floor. That's how it looks. And that's how it is in practice, no different than the game. So, he saw it was a night where other guys had opportunities to have it going and do things. And he's a willing facilitator as well. He's going to just make whatever the right play is that he should make. And you saw that tonight. But all of the guys will do that. And that's something that, as we continue to learn and get our rotations down, as we adding pieces, it's good to know that they connect with each other really well as we're doing that.
Coach, Jalen started 15.7 from 12 from the field. How nice is it to know that you have a consistent leading scorer like him night in and night out?
Well, it's good to know that we have someone that we can go to and is capable of producing. And he stepped into that role. We recruited him to be in that role, so it's good to see him, basically shoulder that load at times for us. And that's something that I never worried about in recruiting him. I could look at him in his eye and realize that he was built for that type of situation. Now it's just a function of just continuing to grow and get better, getting comfortable at this level. And as he does that, I think he'll continue to improve for us as well.
Coach, what was the message at halftime after a good run, kind of going into the half, like just so the guys didn't let up and just kind of keep their foot on the pedal?
We talked about exactly that. Talked about coming out the second half with the same mindset that we had in the first half, and that's defense first. We built the lead because we defended. We got stops and we turned that into offense. And we didn't want to let the second half. We wanted to continue with that same mindset to go out there. Don't think about anything other than just defending, getting stops, following our game plan. Don't get caught up in any kind of distractions. Just play hard, play UCF basketball. And I thought they did that to start the second half for the most part.
Coach, you led.
Speaking about defense, you guys obviously struggled in your last game. You come out today, held them under 25% shooting. What does that mean as like a resilient team?
Well, it's what we talked about all week. We have pride in what we do in our program, and this program was built, by guys like Taco Fall and B.J. Taylor and our guys. It was built on defense, and that's not going to change. So anybody that recruit has to embrace the fact that you're going to have to defend every possession here hard, or it's probably not the right place for you. And our guys do. The guys we have, they embrace that, and so it's good to see them bounce back from a game where, and I give Miami credit. They're a really good, talented team. They're a high-octane offensive team, and they really scored the ball. And I saw a lot of areas where we can improve and get better defensively. And we watched a lot of tape. We did a lot of things in practice to try to, correct some of those things. And I can see the improvement tonight in it.
Coach, you mentioned the lessons from the Miami game earlier. What are you going to take from this game going into that Jacksonville Classic? What's something you'd like to see be a little better? I'm sure you're going to mention free throws, but
Yeah, exactly.
but if there's anything else as well that you would take in that Jacksonville Classic, that could be an improvement.
Well, I think the biggest thing we have to take into going to that tournament is, one game doesn't build a habit. We need to keep that same mindset that we had in practice and preparation for this game going forward. And if we do that and build on it, we can continue to make those improvements. And then we have to make sure we continue not only to complement, good defense with good offense, but that starts with taking care of the basketball. Treasuring the basketball. I thought we treasured it today. We only had 10 turnovers. Our last 2 times that we've been out, we turned it over, way more than 10 times in each game. And that can't be who we are. We have to be like we were tonight, 15 assists, 10 turns, or less. And I thought tonight they really embraced that. That was part of what we talked about in the game plan. And I thought our guys really followed through with it.
What's your main focus going forward before the conference opener in January?
It's all about improving. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So for us, these games, we're in our 3rd game with a lot of new personnel, 10 new players. It seemed like we added a new player every now and then. So we just added, Marcellus Avery. We'll add someone else in December. We still, CJ is still out there and waiting in the wings to see, what happens with him. So for us, it's just with that to know that we have to continue to get better. We have to continue to learn our system, learn our team so we can get our rotations down. Because as we add guys, now I have to put Marcellus Avery into the rotation. And that means someone else is not in the rotation. So it's these things as a staff that we have to keep having discussions and working through. But as the more games we get under our belt, the more we see what our guys can do. the more we'll realize what combinations are our strongest combinations.
Coach, back to back next week. How do you plan to tackle that, and how have you prepped the team for that?
Well, and we haven't started prepping our guys on that because I'm a big believer in just the next game and just concentrating and focusing on that. So now we'll start talking about a tournament atmosphere. And for me, when we look at tournaments, whether it's one game, day off and another game, or consecutive games, it's all about you're going to face that at the end of the season. You're going to be in your conference tournament just one game after another, or you're going to be in postseason play beyond that, which is a game every other day. So for us, it's just, wanting our guys to understand this is a rehearsal for what's to come down the road. So how we prepare, our mindset has to be correct in order to, really gain momentum in this type of a situation or this type of environment.
All set? Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Appreciate it.